Wrestle Lovers. Welcome to Wrestle Love Podcast. Back to you today, guys, with another video. And guys, we will be going over our top 10 wrestling news stories that took place this year in 2022. Guys, but before we get into that, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want to miss this, so stick around, and we're getting right into the list with number 10. Shane McMahon being fired by WWE.
Ringside News reported that the 52-year-old McMahon has been quietly let go from WWE and no longer in the plans for the following Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, WrestleMania 38, or any subsequent episodes of WWE television. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer confirmed that McMahon is out of WWE altogether and is not going to be booked for any future shows. Shane had many other ideas that weren't being used as he butted heads with the other producers, stars like Lesnar, Randy Orton, and even his own dad, Vince McMahon. Ultimately, Shane ended up crossing a lot of influential WWE figures, leading to his firing. With so many unhappy top-level personnel that were unhappy with his unprofessional behavior, Vince McMahon decided that he had no choice but to let his son part ways with WWE. What do you feel about this, babe?
Guys, we are talking about Vince McMahon's own son having to be let go because of him wanting to, do things his way in the Royal Rumble. And his father, at the time, ran WWE. So it's crazy that you have to let go your own son because of what he feels is right at that time. Now, guys, we are moving on to number 9. MJF wanting to leave AEW due to pay issues from Tony Khan.
Reported by Wrestling Inc., the AEW star has been very vocal about his contract situation, noting that once he's a free agent, he will sign wherever the money is. Those comments had caused Tony Khan to have a heated discussion with him. MJF even said, "I got into this business to make as much money as humanly possible. And if Vincent Kennedy McMahon is willing to shell out more money than my good friend Tony Khan, then yes, I'd go to WWE." That's what MJF said on May 30th, 2022 this year.
Wow, guys. We all remember around the time it was Double or Nothing. MJF didn't attend a fan signing where he was supposed to be at. Rumors were going around that he had a plane ticket to go back to leave Las Vegas to go to Newark, New Jersey. And at this time, it was the MJF feud with Wardlow. A lot was going on at that time, and people were like, "Man, is he really like leaving AEW to possibly join WWE?" This was all due to he felt like he should have been paid as like the ex-WWE stars in the company at the time, like Mox, Jericho. He was like, "Why am I not being paid as much as these guys when I'm busting my balls on TV every week doing what I'm supposed to do? I'm the most over guy. I do numbers. I draw. I'm a draw. So why am I not being paid?" But
I think MJF needs to humble himself a little bit, because he knows he's not a Chris Jericho. He really isn't. He has not put in those years. Sometimes your seniority has to really do with how long you've been with a company. So I think he can humble himself a little bit, but boy, what a story that was. And it
crazy.
made him like the ultimate heel this year. Everyone hated him.
Guys, we are moving on to number 8. I'm sorry. William Regal leaving AEW to return to WWE.
Wow, what a news story. When it broke, all signs led to William Regal, 54, being WWE bound, according to PW Insider. It was reported early December how Regal will be able to return to WWE as a coach/producer after this year is over. And due to the conditional release from AEW, he will not be able to appear as an on-screen character in WWE throughout all of 2023. Regal will, however, be able to return to WWE TV in 2024.
Guys, William Regal. So, at the time, Tony Khan, it was a lot of stuff going on with this story. Like, it was all over the place, but we finally got it confirmed that William Regal wanted to, go back to WWE and be with his son and be in a coaching role, because he didn't like traveling around. He wanted to, stay in Florida where he's with his best friend behind the scenes, Triple H. So that was crazy. So he's in 2020, the beginning of 2023, he will be back in WWE first week to be in a backstage office role and a vice president of some sort in WWE.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see, how his role plays out in the company this coming year and 2 years coming up. So,
guys,
on to number 7.
Sasha Banks and Naomi walking out.
What a news story. So, Sasha Banks and Naomi, 2 of WWE's current women's tag team champions at the time, walked out of a Monday Night Raw taping on May 16th, 2022, refusing to perform in the main event due to a creative dispute that included the direction of that night's show. What do you have to say about this one?
Sasha Banks walking out. At the time, it was huge because Sasha Banks has really did a lot for the company, and this company ultimately made Sasha Banks who she is today. Not saying she wasn't nothing before WWE, but that match she had with Bayley at TakeOver a couple years ago, that really put her on the map, and she's one of the biggest stars. She doing stuff outside of WWE and movies and stuff like that. But it was crazy, and Naomi too. It was crazy at that time. So, guys, we're moving on to our 6th story. CM Punk brawl out after All Out.
The backstage fight between the Elite and Punk took place following AEW's All Out pay-per-view on September 4th. After Punk went off on the Elite at a post-show press conference, the Young Bucks and Omega went to Punk's locker room to confront him. Punk is said to have thrown the first punch during the fight. It was said at the time by Punk's camp that he legally threw the punch after the Elite started the confrontation in his locker room. So, what do you think about this one, babe?
So much stuff has happened, with that night, the Young Bucks being stripped the trios title that they just won, CM Punk, being stripped of his AEW title. And this was all after a media scrum of him just going off on Colt Cabana, Hangman, the Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. God, I'm telling you, when this happened, it was just like,
The
come on,
biggest
Punk,
deal.
come on, yeah, why would you do that? Now we're seeing him like possibly not even coming back to AEW when the Elite has returned, and
it just put more of a label on him as being difficult to work
yeah,
with.
like yeah.
It was always said that he was so difficult to work with, and this was just like the cherry on top for that. I will say that we're sad that we haven't seen him wrestle in such a long time. We saw him debut in AEW
on that Rampage episode that was only a rumor, and in the United Center, he sold out on only a rumor. Came back last year in 2021. His return after being gone from wrestling for 7 years. So it's like, come on, Punk. Come on. We still want you around. You did so much for this wrestling business that I just didn't want it to happen like that. I didn't want you to, voice your frustrations like that to you being suspended and we not seeing you on our televisions every Wednesday on Dynamite. On Rampage.
And also, there are so many matches that we still want to see from him in AEW. But now thinking about it, if he did go to WWE, there are so many people that he could wrestle and challenge. It would just be kind of insane over there too.
Yeah.
So as long as we get CM Punk back, I think we'll be happy.
Yes, we'll definitely be happy. Guys, moving on to our number 5. Stone Cold returning after 19 years.
Oh, this was major.
Mm-hmm.
And we were there, by the way, to witness this. It was so hilarious. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin competes in his first match in 19 years when he accepts Kevin Owens' impromptu no-holds-barred challenge at WrestleMania 38 after he was forced to retire after a neck injury. His last match was against The Rock at WrestleMania 19. What did you think about him returning?
Listen, I never thought I would see Stone Cold wrestle after what happened to him when he picked up that injury for him to be forced to retire. It was so crazy to see him wrestle like in person. Like we was there to see his return match at WrestleMania 38. But like growing up as a kid, after hearing all that Stone Cold had to force to retire, you would think like, damn, I missed that opportunity of him like wrestling, and he's a megastar in his business. So it was really big. Like it was really big, and it was so fun seeing him and doing the what chants.
Yeah, and so him and Vince McMahon drank a beer in the ring, and then Stone Cold gave him his final,
which was one of the sloppiest stunners ever to be seen, ever. Guys, we're moving on to number 4. Triple H becomes head of creative for WWE.
WWE announced that Paul Triple H Levesque, who assumed oversight of the company's creative responsibilities after the resignation of Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon, has been promoted to Chief Content Officer. Per WWE, Monday Night Raw viewership has jumped 15% since Triple H took over on July 25th of 2022.
I remember when the story broke that Triple H would, take over this the creative on the main roster. Now we all know Triple H, how he did NXT, how good of a show that was. for me hearing that he will run the main roster, I was so happy because it was hope that WWE could be so watchable and so great. You know how Vince is so good, but over time he lost his touch, and there was a lot of people like Raw. You can't watch Raw. It's unwatchable. It's too long. It's no nothing being like done, and then Vince is firing people, taking people from NXT and not giving them like what they should, how they should be treated, like Shinsuke Nakamura and other wrestlers that was good all over the place in NXT. When they came to the main roster, Vince, he did what he did, and I didn't like that. But now we have Triple H in charge. We saw what he did at SummerSlam. He really put on a show at SummerSlam to solidify. Oh yeah, he's coming. He's gonna be a good booker for us. So
we were there too in Nashville.
Yeah.
This past summer.
It was so fun.
We loved it. It was so amazing.
Guys, we're moving on to number three. Cody Rhodes' return to WWE.
Oh my God, we were there for this too. This was insane. Cody Rhodes made his WWE return on night 1 of WrestleMania 38 on Saturday, April 1st, 2022, after leaving All Elite Wrestling. After being under contract for 10 years, from 2006 to 2016, Rhodes requested his release from the company because of a disagreement over how he was being used. That resulted in him establishing himself as a major star outside of the company. Rhodes had stints in ROH, New Japan, and Impact Wrestling. During that time, he held the ROH World Championship, IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, and the NWA World Championship. He was also behind the organization of All In pay-per-view in 2018, which was essentially the forerunner to AEW. When the formation of AEW was officially announced on January 1st, 2018, Rhodes was revealed to be one of the 4 executive vice presidents under President Tony Khan. His return was monumental.
Yes.
That's what I would say.
Listen, we're talking about Cody Rhodes, one of the people that started AEW, jumping ship from a company that he made, going back to WWE. We remember that time where he was like, "Hey guys, I'm working without a contract." What Sean Ross said could be true, like this and that. But listen, guys, him like returning, so crazy. You would never think in a million years that Cody Rhodes, seeing that the past history that he had, like he said, he wasn't used to his best ability. That made him like want to leave WWE, and him to come back to the WWE. That overshadowed Stone Cold wrestling return. So you could tell that was a big story, and that's why this is our top 3 news story.
And the way he returned, he rose from the underground with smoke all around him. He had this colorful long cape on. He looked futuristic. His hair was like whitish.
He looked like a star.
He looked like just a star, yeah. And he acted it.
It's unfortunate that he picked up an injury, but he will be back. Hopefully, he returns for the Royal Rumble, so he can probably win and get that match that he wanted at WrestleMania against Roman for the WWE Champions. Because that's the story right now. He's going for the WWE Champion, a title that his father Dusty Rhodes hasn't won. So he's doing it for Dusty. Hopefully, he comes back and gets that match. Moving on to number 2.
2.
The Vince McMahon scandal.
According to a Wall Street Journal report, 4 women, all of whom used to work for WWE and therefore for the McMahon family, allegedly signed agreements with McMahon that prohibit them from discussing potential legal claims against him or their relationships with him. McMahon and fellow WWE executive John Laurinaitis is claimed to have paid hush money for these past alleged relationships. This was very unfortunate to come out.
Yeah, I mean, that was really crazy. Nobody's seen that coming. Vince is, he was accused of a lot of stuff, but for this to actually happen, it's crazy. It's real crazy. That ultimately, though, led to our number 1 story. Vince McMahon retires from WWE.
Wow. Vince McMahon, the creator, the longtime CEO and chairman of World Wrestling Entertainment, announced July 22nd, 2022, that he was retiring from the company at age 77. He had temporarily stepped away from running the company amid the scandal earlier in the year. McMahon, whose exit was effective immediately, was announced in a statement issued by his daughter, Stephanie McMahon, who will be chairwoman and co-CEO alongside Nick Khan, who joined WWE in 2020. Wow, this actually made us sad when this was announced, and we had to immediately make a video, which we posted. You can see it on our page. But we were just like...
Now, you're talking about Vince McMahon, the guy who made all this happen, like the chairman of WWE. You can see now, because it's reports now saying that he wants to come back. He did not want to leave WWE, but he was forced. He was forced to retire because WWE was going to have like this bad black cloud around him of the story that broke the scandal. So he had to step away. But the way it happened, it was crazy. It was definitely crazy. Vince McMahon had to retire due to the allegations and all that coming out on him. Now we have Triple H, and Triple H had a creative. Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon are co-CEO. So what a crazy number 1 story that we have.
Yes, and let's not forget, there was another Wall Street Journal article that came out just a few weeks ago saying that he was really given bad advice to step away from the company, and he actually is planning to come back.
Yeah.
So that's actually
he's definitely
big story too.
But guys, that's been it for our top 10. What do you think of the year? We all know it's been a crazy year. Get in the comments. Let us know which was one of your favorites, top 10 of our list. Like which story was the craziest to you. I'm trying to say, but that's all we have for today, guys. Please, guys, remember to just get in that comment box, leave a like, share with your friends.
And we are definitely grateful for you guys. We just reached a milestone of 110 subscribers.
We gotta keep that going, guys.
We would love to reach 200 subscribers by maybe mid-January. And for this year, I just want to say I'm so grateful for wrestling because it actually brought us to different places around the country that we've never seen before.
Yes.
And I'm just excited to hopefully go back to LA to see Wrestling 39. That's our goal for this coming year. So.
And what should we have in store for the next year's news stories? Wow, I think next year's news stories will be even crazier. Even crazier. Guys, that's all we have for today, though, guys. So, guys, always remember to like, comment, and share this video.
Bye, guys.